Check your answers to 28 through 35. These questions review relations and functions. So here they give us a relation to number 28 as a set of points, and it says to identify the domain. What you need to remember is that domain is your x values, and if you'll recall, range is your y values. So the domain of this function are all the x values, so 3, 0, 2, and 4. We look here, they've put them in numerical order, 0, 2, 3, 4, and that is C. 29 gives us a graph, and it says what is the range, so it is looking for the y values. So we look at each point, and we want to know what the y value of each point. This point right here, the top one, it has coordinates, what, 1, 3? This point here is what, -1, 1. The point at the bottom is 0, -2. And the point on the x-axis is 3, 0. Right? So we want the y values. So my y values are 1, 3, 0, -2. They're going to have put those in numerical orders. The numerical order, they use the set brackets, and that looks like B. Next one. Which of the following relations is a function? Remember the definition of a function. In order to be a function, every x value can have only one y value. Okay? So we look at the first one. It wants to know, does every x value have one y value? So are any of my x values repeated? -3 only goes with 9, -2 only with 4, 2 only with 4, 3 only with 9. So that is a function. Now, look at the second one. 1 goes with 2, that's good. 2 goes with 2, that's good. But 3, that's an x value, it goes with 2 and 7. This is a mapping, remember. So 2, not a function. Now, what do we do on a graph? You remember the vertical line test? Does a vertical line intersect any of these in 2 points? No. This x value only has one y value. This x value only has one y value. This one only has one. This one only has one. So 3 is also a function. So we look over here, 1 and 3 is the choice. (31) says if the following relation is a function, which ordered pair could be the missing point? So they give us some points here, and they want to know which one could be the missing point. So we need to make sure if we use that point that we don't duplicate an x value. So if I use the point 5, 7, would the 5 be used twice? Well, I see the 5 up here. So, can't use that one. If I use the point 1, -3, would I be duplicating an x value? Is 1 used up here? It isn't. So I think 1, -3 is my answer. Let's just double check. Would 0 be a duplicate? It would. Would -4 be a duplicate? It would. So my answer is B. Next one. We've got graphs. Let's recall the vertical line test. To be a function, a vertical line can intersect the graph in only one point. Only. Okay, so does this first one pass the vertical line test? No, that x value has more than one y value, not a function. What about a vertical line? Remember, a vertical line fails its own test. This x value right here has lots and lots of y values. So a vertical line is not a function. Let's look over here at D. Since the y-axis intersects it, more than 1 point, not a function. That leaves C. Any vertical line through here only intersects that graph in one place. So C is the function. 33 is function notation. It says, given the function below, find f of -7. Remember, whatever is in the parentheses is your x value. So when they tell me to find f of -7, they're telling me x is -7. So we're going to plug -7 into this function. So f of -7 is -2 times -7 minus 1. So that's 14 minus 1, which is 13. So we would say f of -7 is 13, and that is B. (34) gives us a graph. It says the distance from home, f of x, that Chris traveled is a function of time. Using the graph of f of x, find f of 5. So when they tell me to find f of 5, they want the y value when x is 5. So we go over to 5, we go up to the function, up to the graph, and we get right there. And what's the y value there? 4. So f of 5 is 4. Remember, this is the point 5, 4, and my answer is C. All right, 35 basically is asking you the definition of a function. The answer is A, because the definition of a function is that each x value corresponds to only one y value. That's what you got to be a function.